What's up, YouTube? This is Ricky J. Can you tell I'm excited? Because today, people, we are going to put my 8 favorite 80s tag teams inside a tournament to determine who is the best. And when I say my favorite, these are my favorite tag teams. Not the best tag teams of all time. These are my all-time favorite. It's kind of like I'm in my basement as a kid with my wrestling figures, putting together a fantasy tournament just to see who is the best of the best. And the cool thing is with WWE 2K25, you can implement these tournaments and just have such a great time living nostalgic memories, bringing them back into practice here on YouTube. So here we go. It's going to be a tournament. One loss and you're gonzo, brother. Let's get right to the bracket. Here we go. So here's the breakdown of this tournament. We got the Hart Foundation versus Strikeforce. We have the Rockers, my favorite tag team of all time, versus the Natural Disasters. Then we have Legion of Doom versus the Mega Bucks. And to round out the first round, it's Demolition versus the Mega Powers. Let's do this, brother. All right, here we go. The opening matchup. And I got to tell you, man, I am so excited for this tournament. And I'm very interested to know your favorite tag teams. I know there's the Killer Bees from the 80s, the Rock and Roll Express, but these are my 8 favorites. So I would love to hear it, but let's move on here. This is a very intriguing first round matchup. These guys have a history. The Hart Foundation versus Strikeforce. Didn't Strikeforce, for all you wrestling guys out there, didn't they defeat the Hart Foundation back in the 80s to win the belt for the first time? So this is going to be a little blast from the past. Now with Rick Martel and Tito Santana, these guys are very athletic. They are very smart when it comes to the technical aspect of wrestling. And same with the Hart Foundation, obviously, with Bret Hart. So here we go, kicking things off. You got Rick Martel squaring off with the excellence of execution, and that's what Bret Hart wanted to do to start off this bout. He wanted to use his technical wrestling. He wanted to slow down Strikeforce. So as far as the speed advantage, you would say Strikeforce has the edge, but as far as power, it is the edge that goes to the Hart Foundation. But right here, the tag team action of Santana and Martel are being showcased right here. Look at this. This is where they got the edge with the speed. Oh, look at that. Crisscrossing and down. A splash and a leg drop. And Strikeforce doing what they need to do to slow down the Hart Foundation. And how about this? Springboarding with an elbow. Oh, yeah, I like that a lot. Yeah, Tito Santana. Look at Santana. Oh, nice job by Bret Hart. See, with Bret, he can't get into that speed game. He's got to make it technical, and he's got to use that X Factor. Jim the Anvil, the power of the Anvil has to be showcased here for the Hart Foundation to move on to the second round, to get to the semifinals, as Jim the Anvil Neidhart looking. Is he going to do a fireman's carry? No. Goes right to the throat. But this was back and forth, man. This was back and forth. Tito Santana and Rick Martel were giving the Hart Foundation all they could handle. There were so many twists and turns. The Anvil trying to establish himself with a nice little power slam as he has... Oh, he had them stunned right there, but nice job by Martel helping out Santana. And Rick Martel, he was doing great, sizing up with Bret Hart. They were both equal when it came to nice little fireman's carry there, but when it came to their technical wrestling, but the agility of Martel, he was getting the edge on Bret Hart. But Bret, again, utilizing his tag team partner, the Anvil. And how about this? Using his size and gravity with a beautiful move off the top rope. But nice job there by Martel getting out of the way. And again, the Hart Foundation using the power of the Anvil, dropping the elbow. But I'm telling you, the Team Strikeforce had a way of just getting out of every little thing. But no, Santana put into the sharpshooter. And this is when the match ended. And the Hart Foundation finding a way to punch their ticket to the second round, to the semifinals, but respect to Strikeforce, they gave them all they could handle, but it was Jim the Anvil that was the X factor that gave them the victory. What a first round battle. And now we're getting to the second matchup. It's the Rockers, my favorite tag team of all time, versus the Natural Disasters, the ultimate showcase of David versus Goliath. Let's get to it right here, right now. All right, so here we go. So as I previously mentioned, and especially in other videos, the Rockers are my favorite tag team. There was something about Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty working together, being so athletic, so fast, and just basically the underdogs against the massive competitors that existed in the tag team roster in the 80s. So they were always able to make everything competitive and work together to just give them the best chance to win. So right here, they are going up against a team that is the prime example of the Goliaths. You have Earthquake, 6'7", 450 pounds. You got Typhoon, 6'3", 380 pounds. You got the Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart, managing them. This is going to be great, but I don't know about his attire, man. I think he's showing a tribute to Hulk Hogan right here with that nice little suit. So here we go. I am extremely nervous for this one. Now, to kick things off, it was the strength of the Natural Disasters that were giving the Rockers a lot of trouble. But the thing is, Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty were trying to give all they could get in this matchup, if that made any sense, by just being resilient, trying to find a counter every time they were on the receiving end of things. But the power of Typhoon was sucking the wind out of Shawn Michaels early, and that was the strategy coming out of the Natural Disasters camp, to slow down these young guns, to utilize what they don't have, and that is the strength. Marty Jannetty right here on the receiving end of a dropping knee there by Typhoon. Typhoon laying the leather. And how about this? Jannetty using those right hands to slow down Typhoon, but this power advantage from the Natural Disasters was giving the Rockers fits right here. The Rockers doing a nice job going outside, but how about this? Typhoon from the top, laying the leather. And finally, later on in the match, this match was 25 minutes. You have Earthquake coming in, and Jannetty, he felt like there was nothing he could do, but nice job with the trip. If you can't win with strikes, go for the trip, get the big guys down, and then he's throwing punches, but getting shoved off by Earthquake. 6'7" of meat going right at him. And look at Jannetty to the corner. What's Earthquake doing? The big guy could move. Oh no, Jannetty's got to move. Who are we serving pancakes to? To the Rockers. And Jannetty goes down, and it's got to be over. 1, 2, but Jannetty finds a way to kick out. Later on in the matchup, Jannetty's still in there, trying to find a way to steal a victory. He goes for the pin. Typhoon puts the arm up at 1. Again, the Rockers are trying. Shawn Michaels later on in the match goes to the top looking for the splash, misses. And Typhoon looking to seal the deal with the right hand. And another one on the lower back. Shawn Michaels in a world of trouble and a big chop. The match ended up going outside the ring. The Rockers, this is their Rockers moment right here. Michaels had a chance, but Jannetty wanted to steal the glory and locked up Typhoon, not allowing Shawn Michaels to land that aerial attack. And this is when things went south for the Rockers, as Typhoon taking them both on. Look at this, Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty lying down on the mat outside the ring. Look at these guys face planting. And it was far from over right here, as Jannetty's still getting a beating. And Michaels is busted up. He's talking to the Mouth of the South. Jimmy Hart's like, get away, baby, get away, baby. And this is where Typhoon takes advantage of a distracted Michaels, but Michaels with the counter elbow. And then Michaels with a beautiful roundhouse kick. And he goes for the pin. There's no way. 1, 2, 3. Upset City as the Rockers find a way to go to the semifinals. They'll be taking on the Hart Foundation. Are you kidding me? Again, this was 25 minutes of real-time action, and these guys found a way. What an incredible matchup. Now we got to catch our breath here because the next one we got Legion of Doom versus the Mega Bucks. Buckle up. Let's go. All right, here we go. We have the Road Warriors entering the ring. Animal, Hawk, Road Warrior Animal, Road Warrior Hawk. Here we go against the Mega Bucks, and right away you got Andre the Giant saying, let's start off with a little shoulder massage, and Animal's not liking that shoulder massage. Oh, he's already passed out. Animal having a great time with Andre to begin this one, using his athletic ability and power to knock down the big guy. But the thing is, you can only temporarily knock down Andre the Giant because he is a force in real life and in this game as he's making his way outside the squared circle, looking for something. I think he's looking to... What is he doing? Oh, he understood that Animal was dazed and confused and then went after him. And then he brought him back into the ring. He really put a number on Animal, did he? But he is such a team player that he decided to bring in the $1 Million Man. And the $1 Million Man was also up to his old tricks, going in and outside of the ring, using his beautiful strength. The $1 Million Man had a great backbreaker, but he was in there really putting a numbering on Animal. And Animal was fighting tooth and nail to try to get away, to try to find some offensive maneuvers here. But it was the Mega Bucks with mega power putting him right down. And it looked pretty bad here for the Legion of Doom, for the Road Warriors. And right away, forearm to the face by Andre. And nice kick out by Animal. And then you had the $1 Million Man going to the Hulkamaniac shot right there. And he tried to pin Animal. Oh, 2.99. Animal kicks out. And this went on for a good 10 minutes. Back and forth was the $1 Million Man and Andre the Giant just putting Animal through the ringer, brother. He put him through the meat grinder. And this guy was still laying around dazed and confused. Hawk tried to come in to help, but Hawk was getting beat up, and Hawk got splattered by Andre, and it's 1, 2, and he manages to kick out. The Legion of Doom, the Road Warriors, doing some incredible work here. Later on in the match, they finally gained a little bit of an advantage. Hawk and Animal working on Ted DiBiase, you could argue is the weaker of the two. And now Hawk bringing him to the corner, face to the turnbuckle. And what is he going to do? Is he going to give him a splash? He's hulking up. What a rush. He's looking. Oh, speared him right in the breadbasket. And then he gives him a baseball swing to the head. You got the Legion of Doom working great, having the advantage here. Nice power slam by Hawk. Could it possibly be over here? Andre's looking on. Andre will stop it if anything gets a little haywire. But Hawk gaining the advantage. Atomic drop. Oh no! That was on the shoulder or the lower back. And look at this. 1, 2, 3. An upset. And Andre's like, what did you do, brother? I thought you were going to kick out. And you got the Legion of Doom going on to the next round. What a battle. That was absolutely incredible. What a comeback. So we have right here in the bracket the final match in the first round. It's Demolition versus the Mega Powers. Oh my gosh, things just are getting crazier. Let's do it. All right, the final matchup as Demolition making their way. And you got Crush in their corner as well. That was the cool thing with the Demolition. They had Smash, Axe, and even Crush. But they're going to be going up against a huge opponent here. The Mega Powers, Macho Man, Hulk Hogan, and Miss Elizabeth in their corner. But the question is, can these two work together as a cohesive unit? Here we go. You got Smash. Smashing Savage early. And if you guys don't know, Macho Man Randy Savage is my favorite wrestler of all time. I love him so much that for my own wedding, I walked in as Macho Man Randy Savage. Check out my shorts. on my channel. I have the footage for you. But in this matchup, you had Axe and Smash doing a nice job isolating Macho Man. Now, Macho Man is a tough out, man, but he is not the biggest, but very athletic. But if you could use your technical wrestling, use your power and aggression, you could really stifle him. But if you see right here, Crush threw in a little foreign object, and the referee is like, hey, this is a normal matchup, not a hardcore match. But you got to keep an eye on Crush, because throughout the course of this one, he was a nuisance for the Mega Powers. But for a huge chunk of this matchup, it was Savage trying to do things on his own. Look at Hulk Hogan. His hair's not wet. He is not even in a full sweat, because Savage was in there for quite some time, and he was getting beat up by Smash. And then Hogan was trying to help out Macho, but they just don't know how to work together. But could their skill and power get them through the round? We shall soon see. Later on in the matchup, Axe was going for shots to Macho Man. Macho Man did a great job of fighting back. And then now, an opportunity to tag Hogan. He tags him in, which is the first tag that we've seen for the Mega Powers and the Hulkster with the clothesline. But these two stars, look at this. Look at what's happening right here. They were just so confused with Crush being in the background as he tried to eliminate the turnbuckle right there. But the referee was right on it. But Hogan's skill was helping out the Mega Powers right here, using his power and strength, going after Axe. And Axe was in a tough little part right here. He slithers off the back. Hogan doesn't know what's going on, and then he gives him a little shot right there. Later on in the match, the Demolition working together, isolating the Hulkster. And again, Hogan was in there for quite some time, doing his best, but it was Demolition using their cohesiveness to really isolate this tag team. And then the Hulkster on the receiving end of a pile driver. He's stunned. He's confused. Savage is fresh. Savage not doing a thing. 1, 2. Oh, he kicked out. Hogan kicked out. The comeback is going to start right here as the Hulkster trying to find a way to Hulk up. The fans are going crazy for the Mega Powers. But Axe and Smash, again, working together. The middle rope. Oh, a nice little shot there by Axe. And that was a double axe handle by Axe. And then he goes for, oh, a nice DDT. This can't be it. 1, 2, 3. It's over. The Mega Powers refuse to work together. And it was the cohesive unit of Demolition and a little help from Crush to get them to the semifinal. What an upset. It's going to be Demolition versus the Legion of Doom. But first, we have the Hart Foundation versus the Rockers in the semis. Let's get it. All right, here we go. The first semifinals. The Rockers versus the Hart Foundation. And right away, you got Shawn Michaels working on the Hitman, using his beautiful athletic ability to slow the Hitman down early. But Bret not going to take it, even though he absorbed a nice little shot right there. The Hitman looking to try to counter Michaels. But how about Michaels just staying on him? Even though I anticipated Bret Hart to show some fight. There he goes with a nice elbow. And they went back and forth to kick things off. It was crazy how one guy had the advantage, then the other guy reversed him. It was back and forth, but it wasn't until the Anvil came in using his power to really slow down Michaels. And this is where the Hart Foundation shine, because they have the technical ability of Bret Hart, but they also have the power and athleticism on the Anvil. That was not in his moveset in the 80s. And he splashes Shawn Michaels. Great job by Jannetty trying to save Michaels from getting pinned. But the Hart Foundation continuing to work together, sending Michaels with a back body drop, teaming up. But Jannetty came in. Nice job by Shawn. That's what the Mega Powers couldn't do. Understanding when to tag your partner in. But the Rockers had unity, man. They were so good at working together and using that pace, the skill, to really stifle their opponents. And now you got Jannetty, who is fresh, going with 1, 2. Is it going to be 3 elbows on the Hitman? and the Rockers gaining an advantage here. This match was just, every match in this tournament was fantastic. And right here, you got Michaels, a little showboating, and he got caught there as Bret Hart setting a trap, getting Michaels atomic drop right on the booty, right on the left butt cheek, and Michaels doesn't know what to do. He is dazed and confused. He's got to tag Jannetty, but he's hurt. Nice roll there by Michaels. And now with the anvil, Shawn really has to move, man. He can't stay stagnant, but I just love these true tag teams. They work together, man, and the Hart Foundation, they know there are no egos in this tag team. It's family right here. The Anvil married Bret Hart's sister. That's crazy. But how about this? We got a power bomb and a pin. 1, 2. Oh, nice kick out by Michaels. Michaels needs to find a way to tag a fresh Jannetty, because I love what the Hart Foundation is doing here. They were keeping Michaels in the corner, and there's Jannetty saving the day. It almost looked like Michaels was gonna tap, and Jannetty is not even the legal man in the ring here. A little confusion here. A little confusion. Oh, what's this? No way, the Anvil! What did he have for breakfast? That was incredible. I think their finishing move, it's supposed to be the reverse. It's supposed to be Bret Hart doing the old flying clothesline. And right here, Jannetty's out of it. Michaels is hurt too. 2, 3. Amazing example of tag team work right here. And the Hart Foundation are going to the finals. Kind of disappointing for me. But the Rockers just didn't have the strength to deal with the Anvil. And there you have it. The Hart Foundation punching their ticket, to the finals. Let's see who they're going to face. Is it going to be Legion of Doom or Demolition? Let's see. All right, here we go. The second semifinal, and breaking news, Jack Tunney got on earlier, and he's banished Crush from being ringside. He saw what was going on in the last matchup, and he wants things to be fair. So Smash and Axe are going to have to do things without their buddy Crush, ruining things and cheating inside the squared circle. But right here, you have the Demolition not needing Crush, but just working together, doing some good things against Animal, but Animal wasn't having it. He was working really hard to focus on offensive moves to give the Road Warriors, the Legion of Doom, a fair chance right here, as he has Smash over his shoulders and throwing him right down. But Smash was doing a really good job at absorbing these shots. He was stunned right here, but he was fighting hard. As I said, he was doing a good job, and now he's stunned. Here comes Hawk. And remember, Hawk in the last match, it took him a while to get inside the ring, but now he's in there early, and Smash taking a beating as Hawk giving him a slap to the face. And then Animal coming in. Look at that. Tag team elbow right there. And Animal dropping the elbow. Hawk ended up coming in as well. And Smash just needs to tag in Axe here as he kicks out at 2. And this was just a real cool exhibit of strength by the Legion of Doom. And they were going back and forth, taking turns, but there's Smash tagging in Axe, and Axe came in, fired up, ready to go, giving Animal a taste of his own medicine. And that's always so cool when guys are on the outside and they finally get that hot tag, they get that adrenaline boost, and that's what Axe is having right here. He's trying to go for a submission, but sliding out the back was Animal, and now Animal making Axe run right here. Nice left-hand clothesline. He had him stunned here. 1, 2. Oh, a nice kick out. Later on in the matchup, Hawk putting Axe on the top rope. No way. Is he going to break the ring? High-risk maneuver. Here we go. Down. Stunned is Axe. Hawk, lower back hurt, but that's okay. He's going for the pin. Oh, nice job by Smash, prolonging the semifinal. And here comes the Demolition. Elbow by Smash. Axe in there, trying to get all ready, trying to look for a final finisher to punch their ticket to the finals here. But Hawk has other plans, throwing down Axe and then going for the pin. There's no way. 1, 2, 3. That was kind of surprising. I thought Axe had another kick out in him, But we got the Legion of Doom against the Heart Foundation in the finals. There's going to be no edits for the finals. I cannot wait to see what happens, and I don't even know who's going to win. Let's do this. All right, here we go, the finals. I'm so excited, and hopefully you guys are too, man. I want to thank you guys so much for being here. The belts are on the line. You know, in this game, they didn't have the 80s tag team belts available, but here we go. No edits. And I don't know who's winning this one. This is all new for me, as you got Bret Hart with a little offense, but Hawk with a cheap shot right there. I like how the Hart Foundation start out with Bret Hart. He uses that technical ability to basically slow down their opponents here. That's what he's doing right here. A nice standing leg drop. And Bret Hart, what is he doing? What is this? Right beside Hawk. Encouraging Animal. Oh, and nice flying maneuver as he's going for the early pin. 1, 2. And we've seen in this tournament that these pins, the 3 pins, could happen at any given moment, man. It's very surprising. But how about this? Hawk in the middle rope with a double axe handle on the wrist of Bret Hart, and then a chop, and then a right hand and another. And then he ran into him. Oh, man, I think Hawk forgot his contacts right there because he ran into Bret Hart, and now Bret on the offense. Fireman's carry there. And here comes Anvil. And this is where the Hart Foundation have really shined in this tournament, with the strength of the Anvil. And their matchups have been really good because they didn't have to match up against Andre the Giant. So they've had the strength advantage in basically every match that they've had, against Strikeforce, against the Rockers. But now they're dealing with Hawk and Animal, who are a little bit bigger than what they faced. And right here, oh, what a move by Hawk. It looked like he was going to break his neck right there, but he tucked in right at the end. And that was an incredible maneuver. But it kind of seemed like it woken up the Anvil right here. And here comes Bret. And they're ready to work together as Hawk with the advanced maneuvers, but then getting an advanced back body drop. And now he's in some trouble right here. And another thing that I didn't really mention, that the Hart Foundation have Bret Hart's sharpshooter. So look at that armbar. At any given moment, if Bret Hart could get that finisher, he will latch it on, and that could decide this tournament right here, these finals. But right now, you got Bret Hart and the Anvil doing what they do best, and that is working together, man. Power and numbers. Oh, a nice little elbow. And look at how Jimmy Hart here, he finished up with the with his previous team, the Natural Disasters, and now he's with the Hart Foundation. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. As Jim the Anvil doing a nice job right here, but Hawk battling right back. And this is so even. These teams are very, very even when it comes to the ratings. I wonder if there's like a cohesive unit rating. That would be cool if they added that. But look at the Anvil looking for a power bomb. No! Turnbuckle. Facing the turnbuckle. And Hawk is stunned. And this is it. Is it it? 1, 2. Oh, just that one. Nice job by the Anvil. And look at Animal reaching over and saying, tag me, brother. And it's power versus power. This is a moment right here that the Anvil needs to, there he goes, tag in Bret Hart. Bret needs to use his speed here. He's got the speed advantage, but doesn't have the strength advantage. And how hurt is the Anvil? Anvil's not moving. He made the hot tag, but he cannot seem to get up. And as he's looking right at Animal, oh, man. The Animal, the Anvil, it all rhymes. But what a battle that we're seeing right here as Bret Hart looking for a pin. No. See, Bret Hart's smart. He knows you're not going to get that easy pin. You got to wear down your opponent. And he's doing that right here. Bret using his speed. Nice job with a little splash right there. And Animal in some trouble. Here we go. Boston Crab. Is he going to tap? It's got to be over. No. Nice flip by Animal. And Bret now on the receiving end of some shots. Bret Hart using a lot of energy to try to finish Animal there. And did a good job. But now he has to withstand this offensive attack here, as the power of Animal on full display. And here's the thing with the Hart Foundation. Jim, the Anvil Neidhart, he's kind of injured here. So Bret Hart's got to kind of withstand the offensive attacks right here. But he's looking to tag him in as Bret feeling hurt. And the Anvil coming in. Looks like he got a second win. Nice clothesline. And here we go. Telling him to get up. Hawk seems to be in some trouble. Double axe handle there by the Anvil. And then a big kick there by Hawk. And they bump into each other again. This is the second time Hawk has bumped into one of the members of the Hart Foundation. And now he misses. Hawk seriously forgot his contacts. Nice shoulder charge right there. And the Legion of Doom they seem to have the advantage. Nice job. This is where I'm telling you, the elite tag teams know how to isolate their opponents, bringing their guy into the corner to allow some work. And what's this? The Mouth of the South. Jimmy Hart. He's in there. It looked like he was trying to get the megaphone in the Anvil's hands to use a foreign object. Oh, but he used the big booty and lands it on Animal. As Jim now. It's better to say Jim. When the Anvil and Animal are together, you got to say Jim and Animal. I don't want to get things confused. Nice job by Bret Hart breaking up that pin right here. And now everybody seems to be a little worn out as Hawk drops the leg. Could it be over here? 1, 2, no way. Nice kick out. And again, it seems like Jim is working on some kind of injury here. He's got some injury. I think he's concussed. He doesn't know where he is. He's fighting off of adrenaline. And now the Animal going for the pile driver, sits back and he's stunned. No. Could it be over? 1, 2, 3. It's over. Oh, man. The injury to Jim the Anvil Neidhart is what did it, man. Oh, my gosh. So you got the Road Warriors, the Legion of Doom, whatever you want to call them. They are the tag team champions when it comes to my favorite tag team. These guys are the best. Let me know if you agree with that. Thank you all so much for being here. What a tournament. And let me know if you want to see future tournaments on this channel. This is Ricky J. That was awesome. And I cannot wait to do this again. Have a great day. Peace and love. Take care.